Okay, should work. There we go. So just sorting some of the things that I downloaded, and there's a lot of this folder which is now under 200, but it was over 200 different videos, and it has there's a mixture of a lot of things, and some of them would probably have been good when I went out of the new age, but still I'm sick and tired of of course we can go and study about the new age, the bullshit and all that, but I still feel like it's leading people. I guess people sometimes they go in one direction or the other direction, so I guess it can be for the better or the worse, depending on which direction the person is going to. But I still feel like, all this garbage, pagan, satanic garbage, I don't need to know anything of it, I just, you can fill yourself up to a specific level, and then it just doesn't seem like you can, it seems to be like a maximum as a human being, at least for me, that you can fill yourself up to a specific point, and then things begins to go out when you fill things in. And so knowing all this pagan satanic bullshit and all that, it just tend to misuse a lot of time and fill your cup about other nonsense things that really overall I like to sum things up, because I can't hold all that information that over the years that I've been studying and all that. I came from the new age, Satan's candy shop, with many different flavors and all that. For example, here we have Shekinah, did God have a wife? Right? It's like, but do I really need to really know anything about that in regards of this nonsense? It all goes back to this pagan trinity overall, in regards of Easter or Inanna or many other names. I think the Danish version is Fire or Frida. It's just it just goes on and on and on and on with this pagan bullshit, and I really don't need to know anything in regards of it. I just need to know the Bible, right? I was looking in here, we had some kind of Gnosticism, and it talks about the story of what she's called something Sophia, something like that, and this, and it's clearly not biblical, and it's like, do I really need to know anything about that? Let's see if we can find it, maybe. No, okay, failed thing. Maybe I already did delete it. But I'm like, I don't need to know this. I can know all these bullshit satanic fairy stories, one after another. They're just, all this falsehood just keeps on going. The devil has just, he's just pouring out, like when you're sitting on the toilet and you have what do you call it, a raised stomach or whatever, when it just pours out of your butthole, it just keeps on going, right? It just, here we have New Age Deception in the Church by Warren B. Smith and all that. You can go on and on with all this. Well, I feel just, why not just use the time on the Bible? There was one specific video, and I'm not saying they're bad, in regards of, if you're getting out of the new age and all that, some of these probably will be helpful to get further out, questioning all these things, and so that's on that level there. I used a lot of, when I got out of the new age, I did use a lot of these things where they were talking about new age and these, so it's not, I just feel like, it's just, yeah, well, I guess they have that purpose. Anyway, I found this one, The Forbidden Book 1997, and that seemed to be pretty good, although can't remember the details of all, but I felt like that might be a good video to put on the website. Although I can't remember overall, but yeah. I have Catholic Inquisition and the torture tool. I think I already have that. The problem with the guy that made that was that he was attacking Alberto Rivera, and I don't see why he would be attacking Alberto Rivera when Alberto Rivera was, telling a lot of truth.
Threat to the paper.
Oh, maybe this is actually... No, here we go with the guy. They were actually attacking Alberto Rivera. This is the guy. Apparently this guy helped to write a book against Alberto Rivera. I just don't understand that, Why would they write and try to discount what Alberto Rivera was saying, He knew so much, He knew tremendously a lot. So I'm just like, why would anyone, attack someone that just tells so much truth, about the Roman Catholic maniac institution? It just seems odd. And I talked to some other guy in England or something like that also. It's just weird that they would have be attacking Alberto Rivera and trying to discount him as, it just doesn't make any sense. Alberto Rivera was an ex-Jesuit. He knows a huge amount of things. And when Roman Catholics, which usually they're just getting this from, it's just repeaters, Oh, but he's full of bullshit, or anything he says is just wrong and all that. Well, you can verify a lot of the things that he says. So, and then you can, of course, go deeper in regards of researching, for example, Nazism and all that, and figure out things. So... let's see here. We have exposing Sophia, the serpent, gnosis, and occult societies. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. We need to know what the Bible says, right? And we can use so much time on all these different things, but shouldn't we know really what the Bible says? When they say, well, we should know about all these other fake things. And, but if you take Jesus, for example, if you know who Jesus is, you don't need to know all the fake versions. You don't need to know the version, the mystic version from Egypt. You don't need to know the Egypt version from India. You don't need to know about the Druid version from England. You don't need to know about the Ascended Master version. You don't need to know about the cookie Jesus or the only false prophet version of Jesus. And so forward it goes, You don't need to know about Christ consciousness or, and it just goes on and on. And the fungal, psychedelic, mushroom version of Jesus, or you don't need to know all these versions, really. You just need to know who Jesus really is. By the Bible, by reading the first testimonies of the Bible. When you know who Jesus is, you can reject every other version out there. It doesn't matter in regards of what the devil makes up. When you know the truth, right? And of course, the best video that really is, because a lot of people don't like to read books, but if you want to see the good news, the Gospel of John is the best filmatized version that keeps to the Bible in itself. It takes around 3 hours, although there's 2 versions, but the full version is 3 hours, and it keeps to the Bible. There's others as well that keeps to the Bible. I try to fix them on my website. So here we have the nun, the amazing story of an ex-Roman Catholic nun, and of course the Roman Catholics want to try to deny all these, nuns coming out speaking. But the problem is, of course, there's not only one story. There's multiple stories of nuns coming out with some of the same things. So it's kind of hard to deny. And when you find out that Roman Catholicism is just lying and deceiving all the time, that it's legal for them to to lie, to defend their religion and all that. It's disgusting. This is the satanic masterpiece of the devil. That's Roman Catholicism. So we have proof Rome is mystery Babylon. Well, when we read our Bibles, we get to understand. Oh, here we have, unshackle, Elijah, fulfill. I don't know, but there is a lot of New Age stuff. Satan and the Black Sun. Give me a break. Again, I can use so much time on this. And also what the Satanist believes and all that. But what about in regards of God, right? Shekinah, did God have a wife? Nope, the God didn't have a wife. And Shekinah can be fixed up with Astaroth or Astarte. I think it's the same entity, both of them. And that can be linked up to Easter and Inanna and and so many other names. Venus, is probably the best way to Shekinah, glory exposed. It's just sick and sick and tired of all these other things. Sun worship, Bible versions. Don't know about that either. The Antichrist, ecumenical. The interesting thing is that actually the Freemasons are using the King James Version, as far as I know. It might actually have been, King James might have been a king. Might have been a. Oh, too long. He might have been a Freemason himself. Now, people will reject this and say there's no truth to that, but one way of checking it out would be to go to Scotland and check it out. It wouldn't really surprise me, really, if it was true. I don't think the King James Version is the perfect version of the Bible. It's clearly not, if you actually look at it in regards of how many different English words is translated from one single Hebrew word. So all this King James Version holiness, I have no idea why anyone would be promoting that. That seems totally insane. If you're going to stand on the King James Version only Bible, which have flaws as any other translation, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to read it, but I'm just saying that it's not perfect, It took out the name of God around 6,000 times, and you believe it's perfect? No, you gotta be kidding me. And people will just, they will just be blinded about things like that. You will tell them, and they will just, and that's just not honest, I don't think that's honest. They took out the name around 6,000 times from the, just from the Old Testament, and put in the Lord. And they knew the name because they used it around 7 times in the King James Version. They also used it around 7 times in the Geneva Version. So they knew the name, they knew it was there, and yet they mistranslated it. You think that's honesty? I don't. And if you're going to say that the King James Version is the perfect version and blah blah, and every other translation is bullshit and all that, I'm not going to walk with you on that. That's for sure. Every single translation I've found have some issues. It might be, like the name of God. Taking out the name of God is why would you ever take the name of God out, right? So here we have Johnny Cirucci. He attacks a lot of the other guys. I don't know why he's attacking like Ian Paisley. Iron Pasty have is promoting a lot of truth in regard to the papacy being the Antichrist and all that. Why would Shirishi be attacking Iron Pasty? Iron Pasty is shown protesting against the Antichrist, and also in different kinds of books that I've found that seems to not always be easy to. The last book was in regards to this Bible thing. It would be interesting to get it, but I'm not even sure you can. I haven't found the place where you can order it. Why is it? Can't find it at the moment. Maybe I put it on. I guess I put the link on my. Good question why I put it in regards to those pages. Let's see here. Oh yeah, papal curses against Bible distribution in the 16th century. Papal curses against Bible distribution, and it also has in regards of Iron Pasty talking about it or having checked it, and it seems to give it its what do you call it, agreement in regards of it. It's like, when I was in Ireland in the 1990s, Dr. Iron Pasty commended Rome on the Bible and showed us his copy, in which he had written the following words: "Brother Cloud is not beclouded." 4th edition, April 2009, 310 pages, available in print and ebook editions. But I don't see it. I don't see the book anywhere, and that's why you probably should always have a free PDF of anything you make. One thing is that people can buy things, but when we have the internet, we want to share the information. We don't want to stop in regards of, hey, you need to buy things for. I don't get, we also have satanic attack on sacred music. But now I don't see that I could write them and ask them if they still have that book. Of course, it's not a surprise that the Roman Catholic Church and did a lot of things in regards to the Bible, but of course it could be interesting too. That's the thing, we are kept occupied with New Age and this and that and all that. Even if we get out of the New Age, it just seems the truth movement and all that, which leads people astray as well. And it's like, there's so much deception, so many lies. What we really need to use our energy on is, who is Jesus Christ, and in regards of the Antichrist, which is in regards of the papacy. Let's see if I can log in here. And they might not sell that book anymore, I guess. It's interesting that a lot of these good books that seems to have a lot of truth doesn't really, and that's why they should be free. That's why with the internet that they should always make things free so people can share it freely. Yeah. Maybe we should see if we can find you still. There's another address down there. Well, anyway, whatever. Then we have the other guy as well in regards of there's also an ISBN number. Maybe one can. Maybe one can search on that and find something. I'm getting something else here. Martyrdom of Waldensians, Jean Louis Pascal. That's in regards of some other book. Let's see what we find. As David W. Get Cloud here. Let's see. Rome and the Bible, Textus Receptus. I'll get that. Jesuitas. Another excerpt. This one is from Rome and the Bible by David Cloud. Did the Roman Catholic Church give us the Bible? Well, they burned a lot of people, that's for sure. Anyway, it's just apparently a little harder to actually... Here we have Martyrdom of the Waldensian, Jean Louis Pascal. They don't really seem to say anything in regards of... They just... The above is excerpted from Rome and the Bible, tracing the history of blah 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 blah. Yeah, but they must still sell it if they, you know. Well, that's the problem again, you know. What information? If you want the information to get out, you know, you should make it free. There's no matches. Maybe that was in regards of Dr. Cloud, Contemporary Christian Music Under the Spotlight, first edition. Way of Life Encyclopedia. Nope, doesn't seem to be there. Apparently he has written a good amount of books, the Book of Revelation as well. Oh yeah. So anyway, it's not there apparently. Can't seem to find it. He also talked about Billy Graham and Rome, Roman Catholicism. He seems to have released a lot of things in 2006 and 2005. You know, 1995. Promise Keepers, the Pentecostal Charismatic movement, and all that. But yeah, I was just interested in all the collection in regards to the Bible. That would have been interesting to have a look on. Yeah. It's just interesting how those books that might have been interesting tend to... Yeah. So anyway, we have the Return of the Satanic Pay. What is the Rise of the Sons of Ira? You know, okay, what is this nonsense? Is this us? You know, is this in a church or whatever?
The governor of California says territories, but the Aryans were also in constant war with each other. They were not one unified, organized people, but divided.
Okay, so whatever. Sounds like something, you know, whatever. Not going to waste my time. It takes a little time to actually delete things, which I don't know. Maybe it's because I've done specific things to the memory card. Well, I think it doesn't really complain about the memory card being corrupt anymore. Does it? I'm not sure. The Sorcerers of Babylon, the Tomb of the Aldobrandini. Yeah.
Tomb of Aldo Brandini. The Aldobrandini family are an extremely evil and creepy bloodline, and they oversee the cult body parts.
I even have like this, voice over thing. Gotta be kidding me. I don't understand why people would make videos with, voices that are fake. Vatican poops and clergy worship the serpent. Vatican says Mary is Muslim Catholic bridge. Russia records first. Yeah. What is the new world order? It's the Roman world order again. Why are they, the new world order? No, the Roman world order. Specify what it is. Don't just, elusive, there's a new world order. One world religious unity. Yeah, with who? With the Roman priest, with the Roman Caesar. At least they have a picture of him. And a picture.
Confío en Buda.
Creo en Dios.
Vision of the unity of our human. All we can see here are double-headed arousal above.
Very blessed season. We're thrilled to
And
think of the
Christ
people
Mass,
across
of
the
course,
nation
nothing to do with the
and all
Bible.
across the continent.
Plan for human, all being welcome, and both others commanded
Yeah,
you.
the ecumenical union and all that. Rome in the front of that. So, Merovingian King's family tree. What in the world is that?
Today I'm going to show you the family tree of the Merovingian dynasty, which was a Frankish dynasty that ruled much of what is today France and Germany.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, there has been some pretty good, some good videos amongst them, but most of it is just on the level of, just take it to the place where we really have the issue. Oh no, too hard. Well, maybe we can actually. Can we turn this on? Maybe we need to push it over here. There you go. Let's give it some some air to cool down. Apparently that's needed when I do these things, apparently. Children of Light versus the Deep Church.
These apparitions told church. I really didn't find any of this noteworthy, but if you look at the nationalpulse.com, you can post, and these people that do not want to go to jail or do not want to get put on some type of D row, if you know what I mean, they're going to use every single card and every single power that they have to fight. And unfortunately, I think the world's going to get caught in the middle of this and ask, let's go, let's rebel, let's riot. It's it's just total rebellion, and we're
No idea what of the ecumenical cult, Catholicism, co-work Babylon, the New World Order again. Yeah, Corona countdown. Actually, how much do we actually have about Corona that I can maybe delete? Oh, only one. Let's just delete that as well. Yeah, his new book, Romans of Mass Destruction. Well, the good thing is that Johnny is pointing out that it's just interesting how he would like attack so many different people when he himself has some, things that kind of is he's promoting flat Earth, and other things. It's a lot of time since I talked to him. He deleted me from his Facebook. I deleted all my material, and I posted on Paisley in regards to when he was protesting. There's nothing. Anyway, he deleted all my posts. He was attacking Iron Paisley, and I just thought that was, why attack someone that is actually standing up, who the Antichrist is, But he also promotes the flat Earth nonsense. But I guess, you can find a good amount that actually is promoting this. Can't throw out the... just kidding, why attack Iron Paisley, I don't get it. Iron Paisley, who stood up, and showed who the Antichrist was. Stood firm on his belief. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't really seem right to me, or doesn't really, who knows, but it's just, of course we know there's a lot of Roman agents out there and all that, but yeah, so who knows, but still, I don't get the attack on Iron Paisley. He's also attacking Eric Phelps, although Eric Phelps himself is a flat earther, if I recall correctly. And there was another guy I found him attacking. I have him in the links section, where I just write that he is attacking these three. Where is it? Children and the web links. Yeah, let's see if we can find him somewhere. Yeah, attacking Eric, Greg, and Iron Paisley I've written here. It'll be Iron Paisley. Eric Phelps, Greg, Szymanski, and Iron Paisley. Which kind of is weird, because, come on, we don't have that many people actually standing up for the truth, and in regards to the Antichrist and all that. So it's kind of, attacking those people actually doing that just seems, Greg is talking about the papacy, Eric is talking about the papacy, Iron Paisley was speaking a good amount of, on these things, so I did have I did have an application in the past checking in regards to the heat of the mobile, but I guess I deleted that. Clearly it has some problems with the heat. So Catholic Inquisition and the torture tools, Catholicism past and present, David Cloud. Catholics, your queen mother is Lucifer, Satan. Dave Hunt also, sadly, he wrote the book The Woman Rides the Beast, also, although she's actually sitting on the 7 heads, so she's not riding, she's sitting on the 7 heads, so I think that's kind of but he was pushing that the Pope is the false prophet and not the beast. I can't believe that a guy that knew so much can make a mistake like that, it just seems kind of ridiculous. And he even goes into Antichrist, meaning Vicar of Christ. I found him in one video talking about that. Vicar of Christ, and then catching himself and saying that he didn't believe that the Pope was the Antichrist, because, the Pope in regards to the vicar of Christ, right? So he himself says, well, Antichrist means the vicar of Christ, and then catching himself and saying, well, no, I don't think that the Pope is the Antichrist, and then saying he believed that he was the false prophet. But this false prophet is this doctrine of promoting that the Pope is the false prophet seems to actually go back to Roman Catholicism. As far, but I'm still trying, still trying to solidify that. But that seems to be the thing. That's a doctrine that seems to be very prevalent amongst Catholics. So let's see. Oh yeah, pretty prevalent amongst Catholics that he's the false prophet, but that doesn't make any sense. There are 4 theories in regards of the false prophet. That is pretty well. But anyway, that's one of them, and that's pretty easy to reject, I think, because the beast is before the false prophet. So, but they're turning it upside down and making the false prophet comes before the beast, and then, then you can point to, if you can get the papacy to not be the Antichrist anymore, then, you can point to, so many different other people out there, which they tend to do. And it's disgusting to see people, working this, saying, oh, this is the Antichrist, or that is the Antichrist, and blah 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 blah, and all that. When the papacy has always been the Antichrist. So that's in regards to Dave Hunt. That's just, I don't know. I learned a lot from Dave Hunt in regards to coming out of the New Age. He was part of the 3 people that really seemed to stand out, speaking on the subject and getting me out of all these things. I just don't understand why a person, why someone educated as Dave Hunt couldn't. And there's some other things that seems to, tick my red flag in regards to things. With all that he knew and all that, I just, it's sad. I don't get it. He must have known history from the past. But yeah, anyway, he was falsely promoting that the Pope is the false prophet and not the Antichrist. And again, and there are some other things where I'm like, some things seems to be out of. So it's just very sad, So, but you'd have to take the meat and spit out the bones. So what do we have? In time deceptions exposed. In time, again, the thing is, a lot of these things, I could use my time on reading my Bible.
John, send faith in your faith and faith in your...
Yeah, I think it seems to be pretty good at attacking the ecumenical movement and that. But again, I don't know if I should have a thing in regards of New Age and all that on my website. Because I already have too much information, and it seems like others are doing it to be there. I should have hit into her. There we go. There she is. She's dead now, sadly.
In schools are being taught to accept the snake through yoga positions like the cobra.
Michelle, could you show us how we do the cobra? That's it, arch your back. That's good. Look forward. Good. You hold it for a second.
The breathing exercises are designed to teach you to absorb the prana, the energy life force in the cosmos, to channel it into the chakras.
I think that's the third person of this these three people that really.
The psychic channels, thus awakening the Shakti force, the Kundalini force, and bringing about those psychic powers, which are such an integral.
So these three people, the one former and this one and Dave Hahn, really, taught me a lot in regards of taught me a lot in regards of all this satanic nonsense. And yeah, they're really, I saw them as the three pinnacle people on information in regards of these things, getting me out. So they really have some good things. Maybe I should keep that God of the New Age. What was it called? Well, that seems to be two. God of the New Age documentary. I guess the other one is probably the same. But yeah, again, there's some good information, but then again, I'm like, I don't know. It's probably the same, isn't it?
Dynamic hint. My classroom will be linked to young groups.
Yeah.
Watch and
The esoteric.
I don't even, it just expels me, or what do you call it? It just, I don't even want to look at these things anymore. And it's just disgusting, and it just disgusts me, and it doesn't.
Society, we've become geared to basing our beliefs on our experiences. If our
have diversity, auras of the gurus are
I think it's the same video, 106.
in yoga,
so very
basic.
I knew that I'd
Under Stewart, and it is features on the feedback. The guru
Maybe it's not the.
and the Western mind is being system.
Let's see, yeah.
Auras of the emergency spirit.
missionary organization or something.
I think it's the same video that is in both of them. But really, I just don't like looking at it anymore. It just dispels me, or what do you call it? Dispels me, dispels, reject dispels. I think that's might be the wrong word, meaning. No, that's the wrong word. What do you call it? It's like two magnets of the same kind. It's just, I don't like it. I can feel that just something is, not good. And I don't want to look at it anymore. I could look at things like that in the past without any problem, but now it's just, it just ticks me. Again, there's something that just doesn't, I don't want to look at it. I don't even want, So, yeah, what is the right word of, not dispel, it's, what do you call it, when two magnets of the same kind of poles are what? Push away. It pushes me away. Yeah, fate. That's one word at least. Yeah, it pushes me away. When I see these things today, it just pushes me away. I just don't wanna. Let's see, synonyms of push away. That doesn't seem to. No. I guess push away is okay. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. It's just not for me anymore. Billy Crone, I don't think he's speaking on the papacy being the Antichrist either. I'm not entirely sure.
So let's just take it, I'm going to rip through about 30 of them real quick and just give you some proof, right? Genesis, again, where's it start? Very beginning. Going to be on the right, local calendar, they go.
He has a lot of truth as well, for sure. But the question is, does he say the papacy is the Antichrist? Because, again, the only thing Rome needs to do is to keep people away from who the Antichrist is. Billy Crow on the Antichrist. But he has a lot of good stuff, for sure. But why is it that so few can stand on who the Antichrist is. And who is the Antichrist? The papacy, of course. Yeah. Billy Crone, COVID, and the rise of Antichrist. Well, the Antichrist has been here for hundreds of years. So he might have some problems on that as well, promoting, I don't know, in regards of his rapture thing and all that. I think he might be promoting the rapture, that we're not here when the tribulation going on, but that doesn't seem to work out in regards to the Bible. So a lot of people are getting killed in the tribulation without number. So but there are some, he has some other good stuff. Same with Kent Hovind, have a lot of good stuff, but he, as far as I recall, doesn't point out the Antichrist. So you can learn a lot of things from these people, but they tend to, I think it's Kent Hovind, like some of the prophecies is just outrageous, in regards of, and this is weird, because this was something everybody knew, right? And in the past. So in regards of who the papacy is and all that, and the prophecies of the book of Daniel, it's just, but Ken Hovind is supreme on the topic of creationism. It's just weird that people can't speak about the papacy being the Antichrist anymore. And we know the ecumenical movement is out there, and of course one of the things that ruins the ecumenical movement is to know who the Antichrist is. Because if you know that the papacy is the Antichrist, you won't be, you don't want to be connected with that, do you? So so it's kind of, on my website I've tried to at least take some of the people that's, but I guess, we have different, some are good in this area, some are good in another area, some are good in, so forward. So one, of course, have to be careful in regards of, just weird that Protestants wouldn't know. People proclaiming themselves as Protestants can't point out who the Antichrist is. It just seems weird. Jack Chick and David W. Daniels bookstore have a lot of information on the Antichrist. Alberto Rivera, ex-Jesuit, telling a lot of information on that. Sidney Hunter, in regards to is Alberto for real. Clark Butterfield was an ex-priest. Gerald Beford was an ex-bishop. Edmund Parrish, I guess more like a historian. Avram Manhattan, as far as I understand it, Avram Manhattan actually also knew Alberto Rivera. I think David said to me Samuel Morse is the guy that invented the Morse code thing. He wrote also a book on. We have Eric John Phelps, a Vatican assassin wounded in the house of my friend. Daryl Eberhard has a good amount of good information on that as well. Greg Anthony, Szymanski, Investigative Journal also. There are some programs where I think it's just silly, but he have made good programs on the papacy as well. Jörg Klissman, Tom Fresh, although, all of them, I can pretty much nearly find issues in all of them, where I'm like, but just because I disagree with something doesn't mean that you throw away the rest, right? Alberto Rivera, what could I find of issues in regards of? That's a hard one, I can't really come on anything at the moment where I would have. He just knew a lot of things, and yeah, well, that's really hard to really. I don't know if he was promoting the heaven and hell doctrine. I know Jack Chick loves to, Jack Chick. In every single cartoon, nearly you have heaven and hell. It's one of the reasons why I didn't wanna. I wanted something to hand out. But this doctrine of heaven and hell is pretty much in every single, and I just that does just seem to be a problem of. I can't remember if and the depicting God I didn't like either, but of course God is depicted on, so maybe that's a hypocrisy on my case. I just didn't like depiction of God. Anyway, I kind of don't understand either in regards of Clark Butterfield in regards to the picture of the papacy outside with the gigantic dildo and all that. I was like, I'm kind of, I do understand that it has to be, picking up people's interest and all that, but would I have a phalanx in my home, So I'm not sure why would I have a picture of a phalanx in my home. It's just, I don't know. It's just anyway, so that's some problems with that. Anyway, if you wanna look for issues, you can find issues in everybody, everybody. But in any case, but they have some good information. Try to put the those that are most. Tony Alamo also made a wonderful video in regards of the whole and the papacy being the Antichrist, if I recall correctly. But he also promotes the hell doctrine. So heaven and hell, which just gets us closer to the Roman Catholics. So. Alan Lamont also have a good amount of good stuff on that system. Nicholas, Present of God, also seem to have a good amount of good stuff on that. Who's James Etkin Wiley? The historian. Okay. Oh my brain is just not working. Thomas Richard also have a pretty much good amount of good stuff. Ron Cook books Antichrist and Jesu. I wonder. Oh yeah, that's the one with has written the whole book on the Antichrist. Emmett McLaughlin, ex-priest, Jesuit, and Romanism. Apparently have some. Oh wow, my brain is just smashed. I can't fill any more in it. I lose other things. It's just. It must be the history I've been going through, and then losing information on other things. I just have a hard time remembering these things now. The only thing I've been doing is reading Danish history in regards to the Jesuits. It seems to be ruining my memory on these things. That's the thing, you can only have so and so much. That's the reason why I love concentrate. Why concentrating things is really a great thing. Zachary Bauer has a lot of things, good stuff on the festivals, but don't speak about the papacy being the Antichrist. Same thing. I've heard Michael Rood at least point to the. But I don't recall him saying outrightly that the papacy is the Antichrist. David Freeman, I don't recall him either saying that the papacy is the Antichrist. 190 Ministries was interesting that they censored their sunburn video that was so popular, which I don't think there was any errors, well, at least. I would need to go through it at least. The first video I tried to look into, and I didn't really, see any mistakes. And when you ask them in regards of the mistakes, there might be some mistakes in regards of Nimrod or something like that. That might be some. But overall, the video was amazing. Pretty good to wake people up, and they just took it away. They didn't want it to be on the market. They could have kept a lot of the same, and they could just have focused on Inanna and the pagan trinity. If they had problems in regards of the Nimrod thing, you can just go in regards of Inanna and the pagan trinity in regards of that. You could have, they could have done that if there was something, because I think they used Alexander Hislop to Babylons, which I haven't read from beginning to end, but I have read, listened or read a little of it here and there. And people use him to attack the Trinity, which he doesn't attack the Trinity. He's going after the pagan Trinity. Although, as far as I know, Alexander Hislop actually came to somewhat of a wrong conclusion on the Trinity, as far as I can see. Because you can find out about the pagan Trinity by just going to Sumer. They call it Sumer in this, or Babylon, and see the pagan Trinity. Well, I guess, you have to take all the puzzle pieces together, but it took me some time to do. But there you have it, Father, Mother, and Son. It's found in the Roman Catholic Maniac Institution, the same pagan trinity, with the feminine divine, the Queen of the Heavens and all that. Apparently that seems to be a great secret. Kent Hovind, Baptist, Creationism, Dinosaur, Winterland, and she's still alive. Dave Hunterstead, Carol died of cancer, fungus infection. And Johanna Michelson, former witch, also, well, she's alive still. So she's the last one of those three that I saw as like the three pinnacle on New Age satanic nonsense in the past, helping me to get out of the New Age. They were not the only ones, but they clearly had a lot of information helping New Agers to get out of that. Billy Crone has, he's coming from the New Age perspective as well, and he has a good amount of things. We have been Snowballen, he has a video on Roman Catholicism. Joseph G. Jordan, Aliens Are Demons, and John Todd Collins. John Todd Collins also had a good amount of wonderful things. Also Joseph G. Jordan in regards of Aliens Are Demons. We have Anabaptist, Dean Taylor, Anabaptist History. David W. Bierkott's Early Christianity. Just, in regards to the Anabaptist, I did find a hard to write source in regards of the paper. Actually, maybe I should actually fix that in, but I don't think they have the Antichrist in the confession of theirs, which is kind of why wouldn't they have that in their confession? Why is the it's incredible. Some of these good biblical books from Christians are so hard to find, it seems. It's just, they seem to be like, I found a wonderful bookstore at some point, a Christian bookstore, on some of the books, but they had some problems in regards of sending it to Denmark, and I needed to do it another way if they but they tend to be like, you need to already know some of the good books to unlock the area, of that. If they have like such and such a book about the Antichrist, they might have other good books as well. If they are willing to have, one book on that topic, they might also be having other kinds of good books, right? But if they don't have, it's just need to, yeah. I guess my brain is just overloaded. We have so many things, but yeah, overall it's the papacy. The papacy is the Antichrist. Maybe it's on the mobile. I have this thing in regards of. Here we have David Cloud again, who wrote another Martyr book of Waldensian, Jean Louis Pascal. Seems to have a good amount of things. But doesn't seem like it's there for. Okay, let's. Maybe it's. I don't think it's on my mobile in regards to this. I think it was. Yeah, the Hutterites. Where could it be? It's just overwhelming with all the information, really. Way too much to handle, I feel. Oh, here we go. There we go. I think I'll fix that in with the Hutterite. Although it probably shouldn't be on the link page, but at least it shows that the Hutterites believe that the papacy is Antichrist. And that's some of the books I would also have liked to get to go into the history of the Hutterites, but yeah. That's only one brain and only so and so much time, and I really need a break from it all. I just should, at some point you just need to take a break, right? Books, creationism, Bible stuff. No, where's the video, abortion, buying stuff, diverse? Where's the confessional Antichrist of the. No. Why is it? Okay, search Anabaptist. It's also, it's actually a, in regards to baptism of the. It doesn't seems to be a thing that is focused too much on as well. Because it's the baptism of the Spirit, of course, that is the important thing. Okay, let's see here. Apparently there's some problems in regards to that. Oh. And a Baptist confession. Let's put this. Okay. Go. Let's just put a BR there. And would actually be nice if I could actually make something that actually works with. Yeah, well. I can just write things and then it actually just fixes it all compared to. We have advertising. I'm not sure, I didn't have advertising on before in regards of apparently the browser worked in regards of blocking the advertising, but apparently it doesn't block the advertising anymore. Needs another BR. Two BRs. Guess we can do like that. Whatever. Let's see. Oh, it's in Danish. I guess that's not going to help people that's in English. Well, I guess it's just the sum of it is pretty much that the papacy is the Antichrist. I'm really not sure if it's needed to do all these things when you're really, you know. What we have in regards of that was interesting that I didn't put the last guy in. I had another guy in regards to the fallen angel topic. And I had a series that did have some good stuff, but also had some things that then again, you know, this is the thing, right? You know, we can use so much time on these other things. See if we can find him again. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, you can use a lot of time and time wasting on that topic as well. That seems to be a never-ending topic as well. And of course I don't seem to be able to find the guy that actually had a pretty good she probably shouldn't have done that. Let's do it. It's interesting. I'll search. Maybe that's what's the word I should have used. Nope. Oh, I think I found the guy. I have some problems as well. But if I have the others on the list,
What we're going to talk about
there he is. But there's some issues. I remember just deleting the videos because I've became kind of tired of the things, you know, some of the things that he was saying that wasn't really I think he had a playlist in regards to this topic. Well, there was like 6 videos on it. Let's see if we can find the playlist. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, again, you know, so much time we, you know,
Heather McDonald is out and about.
so many things we can focus on, and that was the comedian that fell over after she was talking about vaccines and Jesus and all that, and she just...
hospital tonight after she collapsed over the weekend during a show at the Tempe Improvs.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm gonna be honest, I have the shingle shot too. Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
It just looks like someone is knocking her down, you know.
Dale, what can we get? A lot of people ask, do you think Mary said Jesus for you? I'm like, possibly. I mean, I never had better comedic timing in my life. I mean, it was just kind of like, wow.
And I feel like if Jesus flipped you over, he would have given you a softer landing. He would have been like
I know, no, it's not Jesus, you guys. Jesus thinks I'm a hoot.
Why is it that foul-mouthed comedians feel at liberty to mock the Christian message and to make jokes about Jesus, whereas they would never do that with Islam or make jokes about Muhammad? That would be considered culturally insensitive. One reason I believe is that the modern church has run around telling the world Jesus loves you when there's no biblical precedent to do so. You say, what? What about John 3:16? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Listen carefully. When our greatest truth, the love of God in Christ, is expressed in Scripture, it's almost always in direct correlation to the cross. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Herein is love, not that we love God, but that he loved us and gave his Son to be a substitute for our sins. God commended his love toward us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So if you want to show someone how much Jesus loves them, do what the Bible does. Open up the divine law as Jesus did in Mark 10 verse 17. Open up those commandments to show how sinful we are, and yet God loved us so much, he sent his Son to die on the cross and take the punishment for our sins and save us from damnation and hell. Now watch this.
Yeah, the only issue I would have with that was using the word hell, but as long as you understand that there's two entities in regards of Gehenna, which is in regards to the lake of fire, and there is Sheol, which is the realm of the underworld, you know, of the dead and the living, awaiting resurrection. Then you can discern, because the problem is people use hell for both things and they mix it together, and it can be pretty it's I don't know, I really don't think we should use the word hell, you know. It has its faults, what do you call it, yeah, anyway. So I also have Edward and Ellen Brown, no law on taxes and blaming the Freemasons. Show me the law. Got jail sentence of around 30 years. Because I guess not paying taxes is a very high, you know, that's a very big problem, of course. Even if you can't show the law in regards of it, you know. I guess they don't care in regards to the law. I guess that's the thing, right? The government themselves are lawless, you know. Can't even keep up to their own thing. Bible stuff. Here we have in regards of the Olivier Bible, Waldensian Bible in French. Why do I actually have it? Bible Waldensius in French. I should not have it twice. Only one time, but let's see if we can find it. Bible stuff and in French. Oliven Bible Waldensians. Oliven Bible Waldensians in French. Yeah, that's just something of that nature. Blue Letter Bible, the Christian writings, the lost books. Again, there's so many things, and it's just impossible to go into everything. Books, sermon, audio, archive, the history of Protestantism, another one, website, archive, yeah. Romanizer, Paulus, lawless, tear, sower, Jesus' words only restored. Yeah, too much. Satan's shoes. Let's see what that is.
Just did a deal with Nike. One. Wait just a minute, guys. Reptilian eyes again.
Yeah, well, whatever. We know the world is going haywire, so is it a surprise? No, not at all. It's interesting how the more you get into the satanic candy store, the more, the less you see of issues in regards of doing all these things, the weird kind of stuff. Reformation, Papal Inquisition, Roman Empire rules New World Order, Rome, Maryland, and the enemy within exposed. Yeah, well. Oops. Doesn't seem to do what I want. Okay. Sun worship, Bible version, I don't know. Are you going to say, well, only the King James version?
By reading from Edward VI, who was the only son of Henry VIII. He ruled from 1547 to 1553. He was a Protestant. Then, from 1553 to 1558, his half-sister Mary, or Bloody Mary, came into power. She was Catholic. Then from 1558 down to 1603 was the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, or Queen Elizabeth, and not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him. How many of us believe in a place called hell? How many of us believe there's a place called hell? Is that where people are going to burn forever and ever? No, it's not. You see, the people that wrote the King James Version of the Bible believed in an everlasting burning hell. And so when they would write in the Bible and they would see the word grave that should rightly be interpreted grave, they had biases too. And so they would put in the word hell or everlasting punishment because that was their bias. That was their leaning. We believe people will, when they die, do they go to hell when they die? No. They go to the grave. So every Bible, whether it's the King James or any Bible, they do have their bias. Unfortunately, these men, the Justin Martyr, Clement, Origen, and then Jerome, all of these men brought into their translation.
Oh, well, he seems to be pretty good on that. Let's see here. Move that over and I'll check that out later. The Hall of Babylon, the Elder. But in any case, I already know a lot of these things. But of course, the biblical uncovering of the Pope and the papacy, that's Richard Bennett. It was one of those attacking Alberto Rivera, which again is a kind of a problem. Why would he do that? Saying that, you know, they couldn't find any records on Alberto, but again, what issues did he have with him, you know? They attack his character and all that, but not the information that he gave, so, well, you do have some that attacks the information, some of his information, and others that just attack his character and say he was never an ex-Jesuit and all that. But clearly, Alberto knew a huge amount of things, you know. So, in regards of the SDA, it does seem like, for example, with Huge, you know, was attacking all the things that I don't understand that of course it goes against that so-called prophet, and because it goes against the false, you know, the so-called prophet, and you know, she seemed to have, as far as I can see, been pretty correct on the papacy and all that, but I haven't read the book of well, you know, you find the issues here and there, and you, as an SDA, you just go with Ellen G. White. And if she says something, well, you know. So they have to defend that Jesus was executed on a Friday instead of in the middle of the week, because Ellen G. White says it. Anyway, I'm just sick and tired of the lies and the nonsense. I'm done with it. Just give me a break. Antichrist, counterfeit, coming Christ. Well, he's already here, but anyway.
Sought the Lord for the truth and spelling. Is this Nazareth that will be the political agenda and political platform of the Antichrist when he arrives on Earth? It is probably going to be the first thing he implements, as he uses it to bribe a greedy and gullible.
Instead of just saying that he's already here, you know, it's the papacy. Oh no, but the papacy is so this and that, right? Nope. So every time we see something that points out that the Antichrist is coming to Earth, is missing that he's already here. So New Age movement, Gnosticism, dynamism, and you. And I'm like, yeah, do I need to know?
2. By virtue of Lucifer is the true son of God. Scriptures, worship God. New Age, worship the creation. Scriptures, man was created. New Age, physical man evolved, but spiritual man has always existed. It means that I'm kidding. And many have education, advocates of social gospel of these New Agers and their main...
But again, if you just know your Bible instead of these things, you don't need to know
leaders. Quote from Annie Besant. Is Christianity to survive as the religion of the West? Is it to live through the centuries of the future and to continue to play a part in molding the thought of the evolving Western races? If it is to live, it must regain the knowledge it has lost, and again have its mystic and its occult teachings. It must again stand forth as an authoritative teacher of spiritual verities, clothed with the only authority worth anything, which is the authority of knowledge. There's Gnosticism right there. If these teachings are to be regained, their influence will soon be seen wider and deeper views of truth. Dogmas, which now seem like mere shells and fetters, shall again be seen to partial presentments of fundamental realities. First, esoteric Christianity will reappear in the holy place and the temples so that all who are capable of receiving it may follow its lines of published thought. And secondly, occult Christianity will again descend into the adyutum, dwelling behind the veil which guards the Holy of Holies, into which only the initiate may enter. So that thought process of initiate and he is a Jesuit.
A Jesuit. Oh, here we go with the Jesuit.
To accept this and be the leaders going forward. This is kind of very scary stuff if you follow it to its end. Well, we saw quickly, we'll hear from Annie again for sure. The second person that's kind of dubbed as the father of the New Age movement is Teilhard de Chardin, and he is a Jesuit. Teilhard de Chardin is attributed with much of the New Age movement. He dreamed of humanity merging into God, and each realizing his own godhood at the Omega point. This belief has inspired many of today's New Age leaders. So basically, as we'll get into here, this is where cosmic evolution comes into effect. Cosmic consciousness. This was all espoused in the early 1900s from Teilhard here. So let's listen to a few quotes, or read a few quotes from him here. He also stated a general convergence of all religions upon a universal Christ who satisfies them all. That seems to me the only possible conversion of the world and the only form in which a religion of the future can be conceived. Cosmic Christ, cosmic consciousness, cosmic evolution. All of humanity and all of religion and all the races coming together at this Omega point, as we'll see what exactly that means. Teilhard wholeheartedly embraced vitalist evolutionary theory. That is, the idea that evolution is not random on the grand scale, but is moving toward a specific point. The universe has evolved into consciousness in man, and will eventually evolve to supreme consciousness in the Omega point. Else that gets there. That's the key point here. Transformed, the glory of it all will be established. Again, there's some parallels to biblical truth, but what are you meaning by Omega point, and what do they think is the process that gets them? Desperately, perhaps a theological.
Again, all these, I don't need to know. I really don't need to know. You can use so much time on all the foolish nonsense, right? In regards to the New Age, I just, personally for me, just sick and tired of it. I can hear about all the bullshit views in regards to the Satanist. Or I can just go to God and use my time on here, on Him and figure things out. It's just the New Age movement. Lecture by, what was it? It must be this one. Dominionation, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Perhaps a theological work or anything. This theme is called Dominionist theology.
Yeah, I don't care. I just don't care about the satanic garbage. Evolution is satanic garbage, and the New Age exposed. I have something in regards to but I think it's from, Richard Bennett.
Called Reformed is not enough.
And I still don't understand why he, if you take Richard Bennett and take Alberto Rivera, in regards of I would go with Alberto Rivera for sure. He's just full of, you see him preaching in Spanish, it's just incredible. There's so much life in him. He's just, it's amazing. And I don't know why Richard Bennett would attack him, when he have helped us so much. Maybe it's just some kind of controlled opposition to discount a lot of the truth. The devil have, I really don't know. It's just hard to figure out in regards of the devil's deceptions are, because Richard Bennett has a lot of truth as well on the Roman Catholic system. But attacking Alberto Rivera just seemed, just kind of, that he helps write a book against Alberto Rivera just seems odd. And clearly, they have apparently they really are interested in discrediting Alberto Rivera, and I don't get why they would be so interested in discrediting him when he had so much truth, That just seems, my feeling of some of these people is that they're so zealous to discredit Alberto Rivera, and that's just, why would they be interested into discrediting him when he's just exposing the Roman Catholic maniac institution? So then we have Satan's New World Order. Who are they? Pure evil. I think that's probably where she talks about that we are the horsemen,
And I'm proposing that if there were to be an Office for the Future movement in the United Nations, which it almost already is, one step would be convening people everywhere to find out what's working and then to communicate what's working, such that the offices for the future, wherever they may be, anywhere in the world, and several are being prototyped in Mexico, in the United States, and in other places already. So it doesn't have to be only through the UN, but the UN could be like a mother matrix.
One-fourth of humanity must be eliminated from the social body. We're in charge of God's selection process for planet Earth. He selects, we destroy. We are the riders of the pale horse, death. Barbara Max Hubbard. She believes that, that the pale horse is active in the world today, which is the last horseman. It's just disgusting how. Why is 1/4 of humanity? Why are they needed to be eliminated? Well, I'm sure they will love to eliminate the Christians, the true Christians. Well, yeah, that would actually be a quote to actually also put on my website, I guess. I don't know if she has written a book or something like that in regards to the quotation. Would be nice to verify, of course, these quotes here and there.
Federal city, and he had supervision of 3 commissioners who Washington appointed to oversee the planning, and that became the District of Columbia. Thomas Jefferson also worked alongside Washington.
No way that you would come away from it and say, my goodness, what a Christian place. Right. Everything there is pagan. All of it's pagan.
Big time. And it's an interesting town in a lot of different ways, not just the structure.
Now I go with Washington. He was the general who said to his soldiers they shouldn't keep Guy Fawkes Days, just not to offend the Canadian French Catholics. Apparently they were in Canada, but apparently coming from France, and apparently they were Catholics. And they were fighting together apparently with the soldiers of Washington, and Washington in his slick oil tongue said that, why are you keeping this and that, because we shouldn't offend them, blah, 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 blah. He became the first president. He was a Freemason, and here we go with the Washington Monument. which the Vatican wanted to donate, and actually did donate a stone to the top of the gigantic penis, or the Washington Monument, and some so-called know-nothings threw it in the water. I can't, one of these places anyway. That's in the World Vatican, written by a Catholic, in regards of the stone.
Town has you can feel the presence, the spiritual presence hold that is on the town. And I've known people that have lived there, worked in the Pentagon, people that still do, and they'll tell you very interesting stories and how wicked it is on the streets there and the people around. I mean, it's just, there's something there is on the streets there and the people around. I mean, it's just, there's something there in that town that has been, you got symbols like...
Interesting. Here we have the Roman fasci, and the gigantic dildo that is also standing in the Vatican. It's all pagan bullshit, It's just right in front of our eyes, It's just incredible.
Washington Monument. When you look at this thing, it's definitely huge. I mean, you can look at this picture and you can see where they started construction there at the bottom, then they added to it. You can see the different coloring there. But I tried to go through all the different dimensions, find the best history I could find on the actual dimensions of this place, because it's not like you can go up to it and put a measuring tape around it or drop a measuring tape from one point to the other, but through doing trigonometry, doing some geometry, and looking at the numbers, from what I could tell, this is the best that you can find on the numbers here. But the height of this building, if you can see this here, is 555 feet, and I did a little video here. Monument is 500.
By the way, when the Jehovah's Witnesses are saying that it was a pole and not a cross, well, the pole could also, because they don't like the cross having, pagan, well, the pole could also be pointed out as, if you're going to, like an upright pole like that could also be, so who knows, maybe in regards of the Jehovah's Witnesses, the false Jehovah's Witnesses, because they don't believe that Jesus is God Almighty, but when they are focusing so much on the cross, that Jesus was executed on a cross, well, they want it to be a pole. Well, the pole can also be a pagan symbol, so if they're going to use an argument like that, well, anyway, he was executed on a cross, and by the way, a pole can also be a cross. If you look at electricity poles, you still see a cross, and it's a pole, but with a thing, Anyway, it's a long time since I did research on that. I think it, and I'm just getting tired of the bullshit, and when you have so many things in regards to, and I can't remember all of the things that I found at that point, but I'm pretty sure it was a cross, It's, anyway, let's see here. That seemed to be a, pretty good video in regards of that area, I guess. Satanism is indeed all around us. Let's see, Kelly the sorceress. What is this nonsense? Oh, let's see.
To these false gods, and also another detail that we see in this scripture is that these people would often make a wide mouth and draw out the tongue, just as Kali does, and that is I guess you would say that is a identifier. When you read this verse, you know exactly who it's talking about. And so this act is said to be a sport or a mocking gesture, and this mocking gesture is aimed at God. So whether people know it or not, when they make a wide mouth and draw off the tongue, that is a gesture that is meant to mock the Most High.
Please say hello to Jim Carrey.
You
know what I mean? For years now, talk show.
Construct his temple to Yahweh. These goddesses easily become confused with each other because they're all the same entity. Really, they're all that one sorceress. receive the mysteries and all this other stuff. He will, with his, I should get that verse out. I'll just paraphrase it for now. He will destroy the dragon that is in the sea. And so Venus came out of the sea. That's why I always point out in a lot of these videos where.
And that's actually, when you think about this picture,
where you'll see these women will destroy the dragon or treads by the sea, and will destroy.
You actually, in regards of, thinking about,
that is in the sea.
That is very, it's actually a very sexual picture when you think about it, because she has this and this upward, right? Like you have this where it's, well, what's around here, right? That's kind of, and that's the coffee thing, why would they promote a thing like that, It's I didn't really see it, in regards to this thing, but fixing it, and if, I don't know if we can find something. There we go. Looking at this, and then looking at this, right? Then, of course, these legs, then, you can think the rest pretty much out, That's disgusting, It's pretty much literally a woman that, is in the position of, it's disgusting.
Verse out. I'll just paraphrase it for now. He will destroy the dragon that is in.
It's interesting how I didn't really recognize that. I've seen this and talked about, they talked about this symbol as well in regards to coffee and all this, and not buying coffee from that place and all that. But I didn't really, I don't think I got the idea that how sexual this picture actually is. Then, yeah.
In the sea.
And why would anyone support a shop that has such a thing like that?
And so Venus came out of the sea. That's why I always point out in a lot of these videos where you'll see these women like submerged underwater or.
Well, I don't know in regards to that. In regards to Venus, of course, Venus is Inanna, and Inanna is Easter, and Easter is so-called Mary, and so many other names and all that. But yeah. But you do see the seashell here and there.
It seemed to be emerging out of the water. They're playing that goddess who came out of the sea. And Mary's name in Hebrew, if you break it in half, break it apart, Mar means bitter, Yam means sea. So her name is Bitter Sea, bitter water. And her name is also Rebellion. Under many different names, Sophia, Gaia, Kali, any of these names refer to this nature goddess, or that goes back to a giant, a bud, and a goddess, quote, and mountains are also one of her symbols, and this thing probably dates back pre-flood. And as our Lord Jesus said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the.
I think that's taking it a little. A lot of people use this in regards of in the days of Noah, but that's in regards of if you see the context, that it's the idea that they didn't know what was to come upon them. That people are just continuing to marry and doing the daily life and all that, and all of a sudden they are just getting flooded. That will be the same when Christ comes around.
And at the coming of the Son of Man, so we should expect the return of the goddess if she was, quote,
Today we're going to take a look at the incredible story of Samhita. She was living a horrible life as a temple prostitute until she was rescued by an angel. Samhita lives in the south of India